I'm looking forward to the Fight for Life, which is happening in 1 month's time. Exactly 1 month. It's the 26th of October, and the event's happening on the 25th of November at the Showgrounds Event Centre to raise money for Life Education Trust. And all the fighters have been training hard for the event, and we're lucky enough to have 2 of the fighters who will be competing at the Fight for Life on the 25th of November, and these 2 men will be fighting each other on that night in 1 month's time. So I'd like to welcome Matt File from the blue team and Michael Richards from the red team. Welcome to the studio, you two.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Michael.
So it's great to have you two into the studio today to talk about your fight that's happening on the 25th of November. So we'll start with you, Matt, from the blue team. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your upbringing, schooling, your work, that kind of stuff.
Okay, yep. Born and bred in Gisborne. Primary school was Central, through to Allminster for intermediate, and Lytton for high school. Never really left Gisborne. Started working straight out of high school. Joined insurance. Didn't plan on it, but sort of fell into it and enjoying it now. And then started a family young. Got a 1-year-old at home and a couple of dogs.
Oh, nice. And Matt, tell us a little bit about why you joined the Fight for Life this year.
I've always wanted to give boxing a go. I've always followed it and always been interested. And I decided that this would be a good cause to support, as well as experiencing boxing as well, and getting my fitness levels up again.
Oh, wicked. And Michael, from the red team, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Murupara, grew up there, left school, did a bit of work around Taupo, Rotorua, then headed over to Australia, and then met a girl over there. Then we had some kids and decided to move back here. And she's from up Waipiro Bay, and then so that's how we ended up in Gisborne. And yeah.
Oh, choice.
Been here since 2000.
Yeah. And the reason why you joined the Fight for Life this year?
Well, actually, I was did a bit of training with Terry and from the blue team earlier this year for a fight that didn't eventuate, and I was just then I ran into Kylie, who was on the blue team last year, and she asked me if I was going to do the Fight for Life or if I thought about doing the Fight for Life, and yeah, well, I hadn't, but then once she asked me, I thought, yeah, that sounds good. So I went down to the assessment. I just made it to the assessment, and went through the assessment and got in.
So the Fight for Life wasn't on your radar at all before this year?
No, not until a week before the assessment, when Kylie asked me if I was going to do the Fight for Life. Yeah, so I went down and went to the assessment, got in, and then and here we are.
Well, that's right, Mike. You went to the assessments, you got in, and now you're fighting Matt, and the two of you will be having a fight on the 25th of November. So Matt, tell us a little bit about your training and the blue team. How's that been?
It's been full on. It's a different sort of fitness to what I've been used to. I've been doing sort of more steady state type stuff. This is very high intensity, short, sharp. So it was a bit of an adjustment period, but I think we're doing well. And as you said, we've got 4 weeks left, so it's going to start ramping up even more now.
Had you been doing training before you joined the Fight for Life?
Just running, basically, just running since Christmas, trying to get in shape again.
And what's your coaches at the blue team like? Who are they, and how have they been influential on you?
So Kerry and Kim, and they're both fantastic. Both got a wealth of knowledge. Kim's very good. She's in your face and she doesn't mess about. But then afterwards, she can have a laugh and explain and teach. Kerry's got a wealth of knowledge. He throws things at you all the time. You're just trying to take it all in. It's a lot to take in 11 weeks of training. But no, just a wealth of knowledge. Both brilliant coaches.
And Mike, you're on the red team. Tell us a little bit about your training. How's your training been so far?
Yeah, it's something I haven't been used to. I haven't done for quite a while. I have trained at that level, but not for a while. It's it's just sometimes you think it's brutal, but it's it's so satisfying to get to the other end of the session. And now you got through it and you've done well.
And who's your coaches at the red team, and how have they been?
Jim Kokut is the head coach, but we've got a lot of help from his son and his actual younger fighters. that train with us. Those young guys are very helpful in showing you what you're not doing quite right. And Jim's always there, giving us what we should be doing, but having those other boys around there tuning us up, and you're giving advice on the run kind of thing is really helpful as well.
And also, I understand earlier this year you were excited when you were picked for the red team, and you were excited to have a fight against Matt here. But at one moment there was a time when it was a little bit up in the air, your fight too. How did you feel when you were told that there might not be a fight, and afterwards when it was confirmed that you had a fight against Matt on the 25th of November?
Oh yeah, it was quite disappointing when it was thought the fight was going to get dropped. But when it was finally confirmed that we were going to go through the fight, it was relief and elation sort of joined together, because we'd already been training for 6 or 7 weeks. When you take in those fitness sessions we had with Hogs and them beforehand, we've done a lot of training and put a lot towards this, and then to be up in the air for 2-3 weeks didn't lose confidence that we were going to go. Always went through with the idea that it was going to happen, and fortunately it has.
And for yourself, Matt, on the 25th of November you'll be fighting Mike here. Does that play on your mind too, like injuries and keeping your weight within 5 kgs of your opponent?
Yeah, I think with the training we've been doing, my weight's sort of naturally crept down, a kilo every week or a couple of weeks anyway, so I'm getting closer and closer to where Mike is, and he seems to be holding pretty well, so I'm not too worried about the weight side of it now. I'm just looking forward to fight night.
And I understand that you've lost quite a bit of weight over the period too.
Over this period and over the year, Christmas time I was 100. I don't know if I should say that on the radio, but Christmas time I was 100 and I'm 82 now, so I'm wrapped with how it's going. And
oh well, you both are looking really good, and I'm looking forward to your fight that's happening on the 25th of November. Matt, here's a question for you. You're in the blue team, and who else in the blue team are you looking forward to seeing compete on the 25th of November at the Showgrounds Events Centre?
I'm really looking forward to Ryan fight. Seeing him grow the past 6 weeks and develop a bit into the boxer that he's becoming. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he goes fight night. And
Mike, yourself, the same question. Who in the red team are you looking forward to seeing compete on the 25th of November?
Well, at the moment we have one team member that's in the same situation that Matt and myself were in a couple of weeks ago. That's Christian. And I'm not sure whether his fight has been confirmed yet, but I'd really like to see Christian fight and hope that his fight does get confirmation.
And yourself, Mike, who will you nominate? Who do you nominate? You have to nominate someone. It could be family, it could be a friend. Who do you nominate to do the Fight for Life in 2017? Who you think will be really, really good at competing in boxing and in the Fight for Life next year?
We have a bloke that's been coming down to trainings and training with us. He's actually training for a CrossFit championship or CrossFit event. Name's Bernie, and I'd really like to see him fight. Whether it's next year or sometime sooner, I'd really like to see that bloke fight.
Oh, and his wonderful wife too, doing really well as well at the Fight for Life. And yourself, Matt, who do you think? Who do you nominate? Someone, it could be a friend or family, who you think will do really well at Fight for Life, who you want to see compete next year?
Could be going back a while, but I did Taekwondo as a young fella, and my old coach, Kim Bull, he's tall. I think he would be fantastic. I think he'd have that natural ability. It wouldn't take him long to pick up on it, but I think he'd be great.
And how's it like collecting sponsors as well? What's that kind of been like?
For me, for myself, it took a little while. Well, I'm really glad that the truck stop in Awapuni Road took up my sponsorship last week, and that's something we don't have to worry about anymore. Really good.
I was lucky that Aon, who I work for, agreed to sponsor me as a fighter straight away. But if anyone listening wants to sponsor us, we're still looking for a match sponsor.
Match sponsor. So if anyone out there wants to sponsor the match between the two of you, which I think will probably be the best match of the night, maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll put on a show.
Then match sponsor, give Mara a call at, where is she located?
Express PR.
Next to Pharmacy 53.
Excellent. And any last words to encourage people to come along to the Fight for Life that's happening on the 25th of November?
Oh, look, I think everyone's been training hard, and I think you'll get brilliant fights come fight night, and it'll be a great event to attend.
Yeah, it's a good cause to support, and with all the training, as Matt says, has been going on, it's a night of good fights and great entertainment.
Michael Richards from the red team, Matt File from the blue team, good luck to both of you in your fight that's going to come up at the Showgrounds Event Centre in a month's time.
Could I just have one shout out, Mike?
Yep, one more shout out.
To my job, DB Judds, although they didn't come up with, weren't able to sponsor me in this event, they have been giving me time off to do things like this for the event, and I'd like to thank my job, DB Judds, out at DB Judds Greenways, out just past J&L there.
Oh, fantastic. 25th of November, Showgrounds Event Centre, Fight for Life, it's going to go off. We've got some more sounds coming at you here on Tūranga FM.
Do you have a business, product or service you would like to promote? Why not advertise on Tūranga FM? We offer competitive rates and discount package deals. Visit us www.turangafm.co.nz, phone 868681 or toll free 0800 368872, or email turangafm@turangafm.maori.nz, or see us in person, 2nd floor Nawairua Building, corner Low Street and Reeds Quay. Contact us now about our rate card. Tūranga FM, helping your business grow.
The Broadcasting Standards Authority would just like to remind our listeners that if you have a complaint about anything you may have heard on this station in the first instance, write to the manager at Tūranga FM, PO Box 1224, Low Street, Gisborne. All written complaints must be made within 20 days of the broadcast, noting the time, date and issue in question. Privacy complaints can be lodged directly to the BSA, PO Box 9213, Wellington.